Hi, welcome to Jeff's 5 for the week of June 4th, 2015. Number one this week has to be the Tony Awards, which will be awarded Sunday night on CBS at 8 o'clock Eastern. Somehow this year I actually saw all four nominated musicals, which I can't remember the last time that happened. The spring trip I took between April and May let me see all four. It's a tough category. Very different musicals are up this year. You've got Fun Home, which is kind of serious and dark and very different from the way musicals are these days. And then you've got the very old school and lushly beautiful American in Paris up against each other, which I think are the two major front runners there. I think it's going to go to American in Paris simply because of its broader audience appeal. And it's just beautiful. There's just no two ways about it. You go there and it's just a wonderfully romantic, beautiful time at the theater. And I think it'll pull ahead a little bit, especially when you take into account the touring audiences that also play into how the Tonys are voted on. On the revival side, I actually only saw On the Town, but I think poor box office is actually going to hurt that show more come Tony time. And I think it's actually going to go to The King and I. Which we wanted to see when we were there in May and then couldn't get tickets to it because it's selling out. You've got Kelly O'Hara in a great role there, classic musical with a staging that's gotten rave reviews, so I think that takes the revival Tony. Over on the play side, I have to say I haven't seen any of them. The one that really caught my eye and I wanted to see it was both Hand to God, which I missed out when I was there in April, and The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I hope is still playing when I'm back this fall, because that looks really innovative and quite powerful. And that's where I think the Tony will go. It won a lot of awards in London last year, and I think that'll carry over here too, because it's got a lot of good buzz. A lot of people say really good things about it, and its messages I think resonate a lot with people. On the revival side, I think Elephant Man will win. It really tore up the box office and got tons of critical notices when it played earlier in the season, and I think that'll take it on the revival side. You know, I'm big on the dance, and so we got to talk choreography a little bit. When the Astaire Awards were given out earlier this week, it was pretty much a tie between American in Paris and On the Town. The two leading men in those shows tied for their award. The choreographers tied for their award. And for the leading lady dancer, it went to the woman in American in Paris. So very much a toss-up in choreography there. Both shows are outstanding, and it would be great actually to see the Tony go for a tie in choreography this year to honor both shows' work. I've got a new story coming out in August. Excited that I signed a contract over the weekend for it's kind of novella length. It's around 18,000 words, and it's a story, a steamy summer story that is set down where I spent a lot of my years growing up, down in Tuscaloosa, centered around the university and such. So I'm excited to have that coming out. It was kind of a whim to write it. Gave me something to work on while I was having some trouble with Hat Trick. And so I'm excited it got picked up. I don't have an exact date for its release yet, but I'll let you know, because it could make a fun beach read for you come August. Got to give a shout out this week to 567 Nate in the number 3 slot. This won the YA award at the Lambda Literary Awards this past Monday. The Nate books are incredible. They tell the story of a young man who goes from a very tiny town and goes to New York to seek his dreams of fame and fortune in E.T. the musical. And you got to read a book that's got anything to do with E.T. the musical. These books are charming. Nate as a character is delightful as he not only navigates trying to figure out showbiz on his own, because he came to New York by himself on a bus, but he also deals with his sexuality, how to get along with other people. It's a delightful 2-book series. The first one's called Better Nate Than Ever, and I highly recommend that you pick these up, and very thrilled to see that it picked up the YA award this year. So this past Sunday we went to see San Andreas, so it lands in number 4 for the week. I love a good disaster movie. I really like old school 70s stuff, especially the Irwin Allen stuff like Poseidon Adventure, Earthquake, and Towering Inferno. Even some more modern stuff like Day After Tomorrow was really excellent, as was Cloverfield, which I guess kind of splits between monster movie and disaster. San Andreas was fun. I'm glad that I live in a pretty flat part of Northern California. You know, we don't have a lot of tall buildings up here where I live, so I don't have to worry necessarily about a 35-story building just knocking over and falling on me. As a movie, it was pretty good. The Rock did a great job. I think he anchors that movie really well. I wanted a little bit more Irwin Allen-esque in terms of following either more people in the groups or having more groups spread out, since there's really only 3. To me, that limited the number of people you could put in peril because there weren't that many around. But it was a small quibble. I thought the CGI effects were really good. And gave it a pretty good thumbs up at the movies. It was a fun popcorn movie for the summer. So if you want to go watch LA and San Francisco get destroyed, go see that. So it's been a month since I started doing the 5, and I'm having a good time with it. I'm learning a lot too, which is why I'm kind of slotting this into the number 5 slot for the week. Getting to know how the Hero GoPro works has been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed shooting in different ways in New York while we were there a couple weeks ago. Also learning a lot about iMovie on the Mac, which is also pretty fun. I've used it on and off for like little tiny projects like capturing my readings and stuff that I've done. But trying to do this with some titles and figuring out how I could use images and how to strip audio and how to put in other videos on top of the soundtrack has been a lot of fun. It kind of appeals to my geeky techie side that I haven't used in quite a while. So we'll keep going with that, and I'll keep learning stuff and try to make this a little slicker each week. And if you have any comments that or ideas on what I should be doing with the GoPro or different ways to use iMovie, send them over, because I'd be interested to see what you've got to say. So before wrapping up this week, I kind of wanted to drop back to the hummingbirds that I talked about last week. When I shot the video of the hummingbirds, I didn't get any of them at the feeder, and I was kind of disappointed with that. Because, of course, as soon as I started editing last week's episode, several came to the feeder, and then I didn't have them on the video. So I shot this week with one swooping in and taking a feed of the feeder and actually investigating the feeder a little bit, which was kind of cool. So I thought I'd throw that in here for this week, kind of an extra bonus clip for the week. So that's the 5 for this week. Be back next Thursday with another one. Leave me some comments if you want. Check out the links to the related stuff at the bottom of the video, either on YouTube or on the blog. Or you can see what I found interesting to stick up in the eye icon up top. Have a good weekend.